Welcome to Stella Root's Table, the podcast dedicated to life and everything that comes with it. Come on in and have a seat, grab your beverage of choice, and let's sit down at this table and have a chat. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of day it is where you are. I greet you with a big old Texas smile and a hug from afar. You have tuned in to Stella Root's Table, the podcast dedicated to life and everything that goes along with it. I am your illustrious host, Kimberly Brown, and I am unapologetically myself because I don't know how to be anybody else. So today on Stella Root's Table, I am just going to play for you guys part 2 of the second episode of the Mom Files with Miss Megan from Overcoming This Life. So go ahead and sit back and relax and tune in. Let's see what's going on. And he was probably laughing because he thought it was funny. Okay. So the next question is, how do you remove foreign objects from a toddler's nose?
Oh my goodness.
I just say, let's just go to the emergency room.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't even try. I wouldn't even attempt that.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
I say let's just go to the emergency room because I'm not even gonna try to figure out a way to get that out.
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm not.
Have you experienced that yet, Megan?
No, thank God. The only thing I've had experience is him drinking dish soap. So that's the only thing where I've been nervous, like, of having to, like, probably take him to the ER. Thankfully, that's, like, you know, very, I feel like, little, but it was terrifying. So
yeah,
he's just gonna poop soap.
Yeah.
For a week, but...
Exactly. I heard the bubbles and everything. It was hilarious, but not at the same time. So.
Oh wow! Yeah, see, I would because I experienced that with my stepson. I had one that I raised. You remember I told you about him, and I kept looking at him, going, but why?
Oh my gosh! Why'd you do that?
I don't understand.
It's dish soap.
We went to the emergency room, and the doctor popped it out, and then the doctor looked at me and just started laughing. He said, "Let's hope we don't do this again." It's like, this kid is crazy, you know?
Yeah.
So, okay, now the next one is, how long can a toddler cry before getting sick?
Ooh. That's a great question.
Yeah.
That's a really good question. Fortunately, I never. There's some people that believe, you know, just let your children cry after you lay them down to sleep or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That pained me to do that.
Oh.
And I guess it must work. You know, I've never seen any of my children cry beyond 15, 20 minutes by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But my son, again, the one that would probably still be breastfeeding at age 27, he it seemed like he nursed all the time, and when I wasn't around, they never took the bottle. And so when I wasn't around, he wasn't happy, and I had gone to class. My sister had him. I had gone to class, and he cried. I was gone for about almost 3 hours, and he cried the whole time.
Oh wow!
So, yeah.
Wow.
And he was fine. You know, when I got back,
he was fine when you got back, huh?
Yeah. I mean, he you know, you would think after crying that long you'd get sick and throwing up and this and that, but he just cried and was unhappy and tearful, and 2.5, almost 3 hours. So.
Oh wow! So now, what would you say, Miss Megan?
I jokingly said 2 seconds because. Like, you know, for attention, like they're, you know, like, oh, I'm sick, come pay attention to me. But in seriousness, I, like Yanni was saying, I like sleep trained my son, so I did like I don't know what method it was called, but where you do like the interval where you go in and check at period of times, and then you do it like later and later, and it's hard, to listen to them cry. And I didn't do it until he was like, I think maybe 7 months, because he was a good sleeper ish, but he just started having like bad sleep regression at that age, and I was like, no, this isn't happening. and and it was fine. I mean, he's did good. I think by the second night he caught on. So, I mean, yeah, if they're like wheezing and then it's probably not okay, but
Well, see, my experience was, all of my children, I say it all the time. I was very blessed and very lucky because my children were all potty trained by the time they were 2.
That's nice.
Yeah, I was blessed because I used some little tools my grandmother taught me, and they worked perfectly. So they were all potty trained by they were 2. But with crying, I found that I only had one that was a little difficult because she wanted to sleep with me, and I was like, "No, baby, you got to sleep in your own bed." But I found that after about 15 minutes, they were tired and went to sleep.
Yeah. They just don't know it.
Yeah, they wore themselves out with that. So that was my experience. Like I didn't have to like listen to them cry for an hour. I didn't have to do that because, like I said, 15 minutes or so, they'd be tuckered out and then they'd fall asleep. And then they got to one of my children got to where she really liked sleep.
You're like, hello.
She would be cranky if she didn't go to bed by a certain time, So yeah, I was pretty fortunate in that aspect. None of mine were really big criers, They were pretty decent babies. I was like my oldest daughter, she was the perfect baby. I kid you not, that kid didn't cry, she didn't fuss, she didn't, she just was. I was like, man, do they make them like this all the time? She was real quiet. She came. I attributed to the fact that she came here so quickly that she was on chill for the first like 5 years. Yeah, because she was born in the car on the way to.
Oh my God!
At 70 miles an hour. So I think because of that experience, she was like, "I'm taking my time from now." Yeah, she was real quiet. When the other babies, I had a little cousin that was the same age, they're a month apart, and she would be flailing all over the place and crying and going on, and my daughter would be looking at her like, okay. What is your problem? What is all that over there? So I was fortunate. I was fortunate in that.
So you didn't have that like terrible one, that everyone talks about. If you have the good one, and then you experience.
Oh, trust me, I had 3 different ones. I did, trust me. My son is the reason why every hospital in Dallas has his name.
All right.
He would get into stuff so much, I had to start going to different
Oh
hospitals.
my goodness.
Because I was scared that they were going to think I was abusing my child. Oh, yeah,
that's like my son's last doctor's appointment. That's how it went.
Oh wow! And seeing that my youngest one, she was just busy. She was really busy, and she's very outgoing, and she's got this big personality. So she'd be moving around all the time. And I saw a video. Megan has a video cleaning with a toddler. And I watched the video, and I was so tickled because she was over by the TV sweeping up and cleaning the floor, and he was over in the corner pulling this chair down and flipping it around. And I was laughing so hard, and she said, "See, just watching this back, this is so exhausting." And see, that was my youngest daughter. She was just exhausting because she was always she never stopped moving.
Yeah.
And so, but my son was the one. He was ultra curious, so he would get in. He was 5 years old, and he was in kindergarten. He was home. We were home, and I was sitting on the porch. just watching him play. I knew where he was, but I was too tired to stop to keep doing this with him. One of his teachers was walking down the sidewalk, because she lived close by. And he swung out of this tree at her and said, "Hey, Miss Johnson." And she said, "Brenda, what are you doing in the tree? Where's your mother?" I said, "Here I am." I'm not doing this anymore. He's climbed that tree 3 times. Obviously, he's not gonna fall.
Glad I'm doing it.
It was a small tree, so it wasn't, it wasn't like it was super high. It was really small. So if he would have fallen, all he'd have done was maybe bruised his butt or something. But yeah, so he was always doing stuff like that. So I was, he was that one in the two where I didn't think this kid was gonna see 10 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Because he just was into stuff like that. Okay, so now here's the next question. How do you remove permanent marker from everything?
God.
Well, I would tell you guys this. Comet removes permanent marker. Comet removes permanent marker. And Mr. Clean has those little eraser sponges. That removes permanent marker as well.
Okay.
I learned this the hard way. But I did learn it. So how and I was telling Yanni earlier, a friend of mine, a young lady that I knew, she had a son that just was writing all over the walls all the time. So this is she made this suggestion, and I was like, that's pretty cool. That's a good way to handle it. She painted one of her walls with the black chalk paint.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, and so she designated that wall as the only wall he could draw on, and she bought him chalk. And so
that's such a good idea.
Yeah, so that was his wall to draw on, and she said, if it's not this wall in this color, you cannot write on it. And she gave him a chore, and so she told him, but you have to clean it off every day. If you haven't cleaned it off, you can't write on it the next day. So after about 2 months, he was not fascinated with writing on walls anymore because he had to work.
Oh my gosh.
So I think that's a wonderful idea myself.
It really is.
So Megan, have you experienced the writing on the walls?
Not with permanent marker, but crayon. I've had pen on of course, a white tufted furniture thing. That's long gone. But I know you could there's probably ways to get it out, but I'm just like, I don't care. It's going to happen again.
It's gonna happen. Exactly. I don't care. It's going to happen again.
Yeah.
And I tell these new parents, I have a friend that just had twins. That this is now they have 3. And I was telling her the same thing when she got pregnant with the first one. White furniture and kids don't mix. Yeah. So let's go ahead and live our lives like we have children. Right. Don't be out looking at white furniture. Oh, that's gonna go good in my living room.
That's everything.
It's not, like, come on, people, be smart. So now the next question: how do I sneak veggies into goldfish cracker? Okay, so here's my response to that. First of all, you can't. But what you can do is try to figure out which vegetables they like and dehydrate them and turn them into chips.
Yes. That's a good one.
That's and then that way they think they're eating a snack instead of veggies.
Yeah.
One thing that I found with my children, if they helped me prepare whatever it is we were going to make, whatever it is we were having for dinner, they were more, regardless if it was something that they didn't like very much, as long as they had a hand in making it. So if we were making some fresh green beans, they were helping me snap the green beans. Or if we were making, they love corn, so that wasn't an issue. But just anything that I introduced to them as they were, toddlers and little kids that were old enough to help me do stuff like that. If they had a hand in it, they helped me prepare it. In their minds, it was then at that point a good vegetable.
There you go.
That worked for me.
Oh, okay, cool. What about your baby, Megan? Are we struggling with vegetables?
Yes and no. I would say it's more so me. It's hard for me to make like I don't know, have like a vegetables are hard for me, but like we have two staple vegetables that we like rotate with, like broccoli and green beans. But what I found works, or making vegetables more fun, I guess, is like at the grocery store they have like tater tots, but they're like vegetable tots, It's basically like sweet potato, a sweet potato, it's not like a tater tot. And my son loves those, so that's worked.
Yeah, they have whether it's the cauliflower tots and stuff now,
or broccoli or stuff like that.
Yanni's trying to turn me into a vegan. I can't go. I am transitioning to a plant-based lifestyle, but vegans don't eat cheese. I can't.
Don't do it.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I just can't. I can't let go of my cheese.
Plant-based, but with cheese.
I'm trying, but it's not working out for me too. My daughter called me a flexitarian. And I said, what the heck is that? She said, that's when you will do vegetarian and vegan and sometimes eat fish because you don't know what you want to do. I said, whatever, little girl. Okay, so now the next one. This one's good. What do you do when your toddler eats a bug? Yeah, I'm gonna let Megan. I'm gonna let because I know what I would say. What would you say, Megan?
Well, I hope it was good.
See, she like because I'd be like, that's good. I'm like you, Yanni. That's some good.
Yeah,
protein.
I know he's gonna make a weird face, and I'll just be like, well, you did it. So, enjoy it. That's what I would say.
Like, well, was it good?
I mean, people eat bugs, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, that's good protein.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see now. Oh, now this one is fun because I had this problem with two of my children. How can I convince my toddler it's necessary to wear clothes?
Optional.
I had that issue with my youngest daughter and with my son. They did not like clothes. They had my youngest daughter. Now she wanted to at least have on her little panties or her diaper or something, but everything else, why? My son would take his diaper off and run around straight up naked. It's like, come on, kid, you got to put some clothes on. He was like, no. I'd never forget the one time my mom had come to the house. He had to be, no, I was still living with her. He had to be about 1.5 years, 2 years old. And I remember she came home from work. And she said, where's the baby? And I said, he's back there taking a nap. And she said, no, he's not. And I said, what do you mean, no, he's not? I just looked in the room. He was sleeping. She said, he's standing in the hallway. And I said, no. And I turned around and looked, and he literally raised his arms and went, ah! Oh my God. And then she said, please put some clothes on your son. I have friends coming over.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he we lived in Texas. So summer times were, yeah. So he didn't like clothes. And the youngest one, she didn't like clothes, and she didn't like to match socks with her outfit. It was really weird because, like, if she was wearing a denim overalls and a red shirt, if I put red socks on her, she would cry.
Oh my goodness!
Because she felt like she should have on a red sock and a blue sock.
That's interesting.
She hated matching socks. She did. She hated it. It was weird. She was the weirdest kid. So anybody else have issues with children not wanting to wear their clothes?
Mine wears clothes, but he doesn't mind clothes. It's if he's like in a diaper and then be like, he seems to want to run away when he knows I'm about to dress him. So, but like he will keep the clothes on. So I'm like, what's wrong? Why is this such an issue? It's like the end of the world to dress him.
Oh, see. And what about you, Yanni?
My kids, my son was the extreme. He always wanted to be naked. And my middle daughter, she, not only did she want clothes on, but I had to like peel clothes off of her because she wanted to wear the same. They would tease her that she had some pink pants and a flower shirt that, like, literally every picture that you see of her, she has on these pink pants and flower shirt because she never, ever, ever wanted to take it off. And it reminds me of that one commercial where the little girl wears the same thing all the time, and the dad is like having to bribe her to wash it. Like, that's all I had to do for my daughter. So when I was washing that outfit, she didn't want anything else. So that's when she would be naked. Yeah. Waiting for that outfit to be ready again. So I've had both extremes.
See, I love that commercial too. She put him in jail because he had to play sheriff, so he could wash the princess dress. Oh my gosh, I love it. And then see, my middle daughter loved clothes, and so she wanted to change 2 or 3 times a day. So yeah, she thought she was a little diva or something. And I'm like, really, kid? I got to tell y'all, this little girl, she was so prissy. I have a large family. Like, I'm an only child, but my family is large. And so we would go to my grandmother's house every Thanksgiving for all the holidays, all kind of stuff. And we would be out in the backyard. You know how you do. You go out in the backyard, you play football and volleyball and all kind of stuff with the family. So we're out there playing volleyball, and this kid is 3 years old, kid you not. She's sitting in a folding chair under a tree with her legs crossed at the knees, okay? And resting her hand on her lap. And she's sitting there, and she's got a little drink of tea or something sitting next to her. And so the ball, we're out there playing, and the ball flies by her and misses her by about an inch.
Oh my goodness.
And she didn't flinch. She turned around and looked at us like, I know y'all wasn't trying to hit me. And then went back and folded her arms back and kept sitting there like, whatever.
Wow.
My grandmother said, that's a diva right there. Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Attitude.
So, yes, I was like, yeah, that's a diva. Okay, so the next question was, how many hours can a toddler safely watch of Caillou? I say as many hours as they want, because my son was Sesame Streeted down, okay? Sesame Street and Barney was my favorite people at that moment, because that would buy me a minimum of 45 minutes of quiet time. Yeah. So does your baby watch Caillou, Megan?
Yes, just essential. There's no question. I mean, it's like background noise. I don't care. whatever gets me, extra time. It's hard to get those moments.
Yep, exactly. What about you, Miss Yanni?
I think our sons, like our parallel lives, your son's 27.
He's 32.
Oh, okay. Well, Barney was still the thing by the time my son came along. So between Barney and Sesame Street, and I always had to sprinkle in some Veggie Tales in there.
See,
rotation.
That's what I'm saying. Look, let me tell
between all of those, the house could come tumbling down around him, and he would, as long as the TV still worked, it's fine.
That's what I'm saying. They like, you shouldn't let your kids watch TV. The TV is babysitting the children. You have no idea what kind of turmoil I'm in with these kids. I need some quiet.
Exactly.
So
now,
yes,
I'm not doing it 24 hours a day,
right.
7 days a week.
Yeah, exactly. But if it gives me an hour or two, yay. Because I'm telling you, we had Sesame Street, Barney. This is from all three: Sesame Street, Barney, Lamb Chop, and and Teletubbies.
Oh my goodness!
That was and the Ninja Turtles. That was the business. Hey, I was in heaven. Because I get quiet time. When Ninja Turtles came on, my son would not move for the whole 30 minutes that Ninja Turtles were on. So when he would come in and, because they get home from school and they're rowdy and, he kindergartner, preschooler, he's all rowdy and wound up because he's been around other kids all day. And he come home and I say, Ninja Turtles are getting ready to come on. That kid would wash his hands. I kid you not. He would go wash his hands. He would put his things away. He would do everything he's supposed to do because he did not want to miss Ninja Turtles. I loved it.
I know that's right.
I loved it. If I said, well, I'm not going to let you watch Ninja Turtles if you don't put your stuff away. Man, he'd go clean that room like a professional. For real. I loved it. So, okay, so the next one is ketchup considered a new toddler hair moisturizer? I can't. That's just a typical kid putting stuff in their hair. Just wash it. Just wash it out, guys.
I have heard good things about mayonnaise though.
Yes. I put mayonnaise in my deep conditioner that I mix for myself. So So I mean, honestly, I understand, you get kind of frustrated with the kids, but there are certain things for me as a parent, I don't get all bent out of shape about it. They put a little ketchup in their hair, just wash it.
Yeah. It'll come out. It's not a big deal. It's not
they're gonna put a whole bunch of stuff in their hair.
Exactly. I'm like, just wash it. Don't be bothering Siri with that.
The least of your worries, maybe.
Right, exactly. Ketchup is the least of your worries. The least. My daughter bleached her own hair.
Oh my gosh.
I walked in the room and the front part of her hair was like
blonde.
My God. And I was saying, what did you do? And that was when it first came out with the not the gel bleach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They had just first came out with that, and she was she had to be about 5 or 6. And she was in the bathroom. She was supposed to have been washing her hands so she can come and eat. But I noticed that she had been in there a minute. So I went in there. I was like, you okay? I'm thinking she was using the bathroom. I said, you okay? And I walked in and she turned around and looked at me in the front of her hair. Because she had taken, what she did was she went in to wash her hands, but she saw the bottle of the bleach sitting next to the toilet. And she got curious. So she picks up the bleach. I'm like, oh my God, I'm a horrible mom because I left that bleach sitting next to the toilet.
Left it out. Right.
But she got the bleach. She didn't drink it or anything. She smelled it and it smelled funny. So she put it down, but she had squeezed a little in her hand. And she didn't know what to do with it. So she touched her hair. And so she touched her hair. And then she thought, oh, let me just wash it off and mom won't know I touched it.
Yeah.
So she went to wash her hands, but she had it in her hair at this point. So when I come in the room, the whole front of her head was just blonde. I said,
"Oh my goodness!"
I'm like, thank God you didn't drink it.
So here I go to the store to get some colorants that the old people use. So my mom won't have a fit when she see my baby blonde hair.
Right.
It worked itself out. It came back. The color came back as her hair grew out. But it was just, I was like, oh my God.
Nowadays, she would fit right in.
Yeah, she would fit right in. Like, okay, so now. Alrighty, my darlings, you have been listening to The Mom Files, Episode 2, Part 2. That's The Mom Files, Episode 2, Part 2, with my special guest, Miss Megan Bullman, of Overcoming This Life on YouTube. I am having such a great time having a talk with this beautiful young lady and understanding that she, is really using her own life to inspire others. And we're just having a nice talk about being a parent and the things that you have to overcome as a parent. So don't forget, guys, to go over to YouTube and find her on YouTube. That's Megan Bullman. The name of her channel is Overcoming This Life. Go ahead and go check her out. Subscribe. She's absolutely wonderful. And also, don't forget that you can contact us or reach us if you're looking for us on social media. We're all over the place. We're on Facebook and Instagram as Stella Ruth's Table. We're also on Twitter at Ruth_table. And if you just want to send me a message and ask a question or have a chat, my email address is stellaruthstable@gmail.com. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. As always, guys, I love you, love you, love you. God bless you. Part 3 is coming soon. Have a very blessed day. Live life, laugh often, and eat some good food while you're doing it.